welcome to a brand new season of the best domestic league in the women's game. The PWR is back with all the usual superstars and tyros, the rivalries and subplots, and the weekly blockbusters out on pitch, but with one crucial difference. This year, it's a sprint. Gun to tape is October to March with no room for errors or easing into things. So, let's rip into things, shall we? Gloucester Hartpury are victims of their own success with 23 away at WXV, and yet this is still a team sheet oozing threat. Captain Steph Else has been learning all about the dark arts and leadership from none other than Zoe Aldcroft. She packs down next to Gwen Ann Hopkins, who simply exploded onto the scene last season, as did centres Millie Hyatt and Pip Hendy, whilst Bianca Blackburn, Rachel Lund and Emma Singh, well, they've all been essential in securing the trophies currently gleaming in the coffers here at Kingsholm. What Tom Hudson's backs might lack in experience, they more than make up for in pace. And Scotland's Evie Wills has returned from an ACL tear with some game-breaking moments over pre-season. The question is, how will they handle the last-minute disruption of losing seasoned fly-half Tash Jones at the last minute? Sarah Nicholas starts in her place. And don't be fooled, by the way, by the size of that back row. They are ferocious operators. An early look at the would-be three-peaters in their own backyards. And these, the women, tasked with spoiling the party in round one. 9th last year, Tigers on debut, collecting just the 2 wins. But a new coach at the helm, a huge recruitment drive over the summer to cherry-pick the very best of the championship. And speaking to Hudson in the week, a clear game plan. Make Gloucester Hartpury show us their plan B. Disrupt and obstruct and take the reigning champions out of their comfort zone. That, though, is much easier said than done. A fair few fresh faces and a 20-year-old captain, but also plenty who we've seen on international stages and on PWR podiums. To put it in 2024 terms, this lot are no stranger to champagne-spattered ski goggles. And here they come before the sheds and at the site of their very first Premiership triumph. Steph Else is just 20 years old. She's at university, but she has been tasked with getting their title defence underway as they look for a historic three-peat. And any side that can be missing 23 athletes but still put Emma Singh in at fullback is a force to be reckoned with. Jordan Russell, the opposite number of Steph Else, an individual who knows this place extremely well, fresh from Gloucester Hartpury over the summer and with a real point to prove. In the middle today is Mike Hudson with Neil Chivers and Verianne Boscawen patrolling the touchlines. Anthony Woodthorpe will be spooling away in the truck on TMO duties. The circus in those famed cherry and white colours. Leicester Tigers in historic green and red with white jerseys up on top.
Straight down. One option.
Sting taken straight out of that one, and time to welcome up into commentary the woman alongside me for this one who knows a thing or two about the English game, World Cup winning captain and Sale Sharks performance lead, Katie Daly-McLean.
Good afternoon. How are we today? I think, you know, we talked about it in build-up about what this game could be. Ellie Green, the opportunity coming from trail finders there, kicking along, so you go with that scrum back. But I think she could be really, really interesting to see how she works behind this Gloucester pack today.
Speaking of packs, your front rows today, Elle Perry, Amy Dale, Rani Samuda, Zainab Alima, Alana Bainbridge and Jade Jones for the visitors. Amy Ralph, former Leicestershire ladies captain, will feed. Dead in the centre of this verdant rectangle, formerly known as Queen's Home. Cleanly away for Tigers. An excellent strike and crisp distribution finds Swedish international Amanda Schwartz. Ferocious at the broke down there from Gwen Ann Hopkins. Just an early look at the Welsh teenager. to work to extricate that from her clutches, but they do. And Tigers going through the phases early here. Nicholas wearing 22, but in the place of Tash Jones, remember. A last-minute dropout from the squad. Here is Alima on her Premiership Women's Rugby debut. A mum of 3, based down in London, who gets the train up to Leicester multiple times a week to train with this squad. She trains like an absolute monster by all accounts, and she's given us a little glimpse of it there as she trundles over the top of that breakdown. Lovely flat pass across the face, finds Russell back at her alma mater. Ralph clattered there, but still managing to get it away, and it's been a busy opening couple of minutes for Schwartz. This now, Charlotte Frey places it backwards so it can be popped on swiftly and smoothly, and here is Jade Jones. It's patient stuff, Katie.
It really is, and it's what you want to see from Leicester. They just want to keep the ball alive, keep the ball in hand, make Gloucester Hartpury tackle them, and they're doing that really well to start.
It's taken them a matter of minutes. They're up onto the cusp of the 22, and how about the shot there? First involvement for Gwen Crabb, the Welsh international, newly returned from an ACL injury. Popped down to Kingsholm earlier in the week and watched this lot train, and Crabb is looking fit and strong. She's really come back with a point to prove.
Which is great to see, isn't it? You never want to see a player injured, but the opportunity that potentially presents you then, you know, to get back, do your physical prep, come back in better shape, she's definitely done that.
Says it's given her real perspective and a real gratitude for what it is that she does for a living. She is hungry to be back playing rugby. Finds herself on defensive duties here, because I don't know how many phases we've seen, but surely we're pushing 16, 17 here. It's impressive, patient stuff, but finally running out of patience as Russell gets the offload away. Here is Charlotte Frey, and what an opening score for Leicester Tigers at the home of the champions. They waited and waited and waited, and then when they struck, it was worth it.
Wow, I don't think anybody saw that coming. You know, you talk about being patient with possession. Numerous phases at what point going backwards, but here, what a carry that is. It's just leg drive from Jordan Russell. She does so well to beat defenders, and then it's a lovely offload. But for me, that was in the patience. It was the management by the halfbacks to say, you know what it is, we're just going to keep the ball. We're going to wait for that moment, that missed tackle in behind, and great pace. You know, Ellie Green is no slouch. Good angle for the corner.
Bring that for me. Thank you.
She was Leicester's young player of the season a couple of years ago, Charlotte Frey. They're so excited about her. Now it's over to Nicholas, who only found out she'd be on kicking duties about half an hour ago. It really was a last-minute change. She's kicked a few of these in her time.
Or give her on the post, boys, yeah?
Flags stay down on this occasion. It remains a 5-point score, but if the brief today was to force Gloucester Hartpury into their plan B, they've gone about it the right way.
They really have, and like I say, you just watch Russell there. It's the ability not to die, to keep going, to leg drive, and then once she's in behind, getting arms free, and it's great support from Frey there. She's on her shoulder, talking to her all the time. Really well worked try by Leicester.
Morgan Richardson, wearing 7, sometimes wears 9, which is an unusual combination, but gets the job done off the kickoff there. That's so much better than the initial start. But at last, the pendulum swings the way of the champions. It's fine turnover ball, and apologising there to her teammates is Charlotte Daly.
She was unlucky, wasn't she? The intent was there, you know. She knew she was isolated, trying to work really hard on the ground. But it's a great spot. Picks Bianca Blackburn off on the edge. Good step inside away from touch. I think she's unlucky here, you know. Really good spot from Amy Ralph there. Yeah, she just doesn't get back on her feet, does she? She's always on her knees at that point.
Stay there.
Amy Dale High and arcing and right on the money. And look at that big red dumpster touch, just trundling up. Brennan Hopkins off the base. 2 metres out now. This now is El Carry, the Red Rose. Well held up though, and look who is rising from beneath ball. Jordan Russell, who signed from Gloucester Hartpury over the summer and had a point to prove today.
Tell you what, coming back to your old side in the opening game of the season, 6 minutes in, you've got a try assist and a try held up is not a bad start, is it?
Touch not found. Rachel Lund out on the left wing today for the Circus, one of the wise old heads in these parts these days. Manages to keep the ball in play, so they'll have another bite at the cherry. And they've got the free possession to play with. They go quickly. We thought that might happen today. It was a tactic they used an awful lot over the warm-up fixtures, the power-up season. Wearing 12 is Millie Hyatt. Up she goes. A real leg drive that from the young centre. Well, making up for getting isolated. Charlotte Daly, how about that defensive read? Forces the knock-on.
We'll come back for the knock-on anyway.
Hurtling up into Gloucester Grills.
Head injury here, guys. We'll come back for the knock-on.
Yeah, bit of a head contact there, so I think we'll just have a little delay. But it's been a great opening 8 minutes, hasn't it, of the game? It's what you want to see.
Yeah,
I think definitely for me, I thought Gloucester would be really dominant, but Leicester really smart with possession, good defensive set, really holding their own against this Gloucester Hartpury side.
Steph, you'll scrum over here for the knock-on, just in their tackle.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the emotional motivation that you can have when you face a former club of yours, because speaking to Tom Hudson in the week, he said that he was very much aware that there'd be a lot of pent-up emotion for the likes of Jordan Russell or Tiana Gordon or Emma Mundy, athletes who have come from the Gloucester Hartpury stable. And he said if they can manage that well, it just makes them all the more dangerous, but there is a risk of it boiling over.
There is, but I think what we've seen in that opening 7 minutes, and that's generally where it happens, is you look at Jordan Russell there on your screen, you know, she gets absolutely sat down there, but her next involvement is positive, and I think that's all you can do. You've just got to focus on your battles, and for me, I think that's what she's done really well. 2 really big involvements for Leicester early doors, but real positive.
Okay, water off, please.
Captain Rasheen McBrien leaving the field for, I believe, an HIA.
Scrum, cross the ball.
Clattered there, which means an early introduction for the aforementioned Tiana Gordon.
This side,
who's just signed from Cheltenham Tigers, where she's won back-to-back championship titles. I think we'll be saying that back-to-back a lot this season, because it is what Sean Lynn's women are after. Not been done since the Premiership became the Prem 15s in 2017.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Use it.
Hopkins from the base has got such a turn of pace on her. Her first few strides, utterly explosive each and every time. Steph Else pulled back the way that she came. Blackburn onto Samuda, the Jamaican international. Now this is Crabb. Green to Singh in at second receiver, upended by her opposite number. Blackburn barking orders from behind the mess, the flurry of bodies, and picking out another new signing, Stafford. Thought they might have got some change from that Tigers, but Gloucester Hartpury do really well to keep the ball in their possession. Samuda again. We saw patience up one end, we're seeing it down the other now. Pip Hendy, what a season she had. An injury-necessitated debut and an opportunity that she took and just flew with.
Tackle!
It's close quarters, meaty stuff. Some of the shots are monstrous. But the white wall standing firm for now. Blackburn. On to Stafford, that better. That's some gain line, some front foot ball, but stripped. It's Jordan Russell. And the ball is Tigers.
Really, really good defensive set by Leicester there, you know. And this is what they're going to do. They're going to have to suffocate Gloucester. You talked about at the beginning of the show that they want to see your B plan. And what they're saying to Gloucester is, look, you can come, you can carry, but we are going to tackle you and you're going to have to do something different. So a really, really bright opening start from Leicester Tigers.
An early try and nothing yet conceded.
What's great about this is the double tackle. You know, 2 Leicester players in there. They're not letting them take meters, and that's what Gloucester are used to. They're used to playing on top and in behind defences. And that one, Leicester Tigers won that battle of the game line. They marched Gloucester back.
Well, they made the 5th most tackles in the league last year, did Leicester Tigers, and their defence was pretty watertight as a rule until the final quarter. That's been a huge work on in the off-season, their fitness, their conditioning. I love GPS, Hudson said when we spoke in the week. He's a very data-driven coach, but he says that if we can just get the final 20 to go our way more often than not, we'll be a drastically different team.
Yeah, it's huge, isn't it? Because, you know, when you're playing with a squad that probably doesn't have the depth, then you know, trying to recruit players is difficult. You come to a Gloucester Hartpury that kind of take one off, replace with it a like for like. I think that'll be huge for Leicester this season, because I think squads will basically say, look, they can play for 60, but in the last 20 minutes we know we can take them. Get rid of that and you just start to put doubt in your opposition, and that's huge when you're looking to win that mental battle.
Okay, Tigers, let's go.
First throw of the afternoon, of the season for Alana Bainbridge.
Yeah.
Former DMP Shark, former Wasp.
There where I asked them to be, just stay there, please. Leicester Tigers, step up.
Former England under-20s.
Thank you.
She was sat behind Amy Cockayne last year, of course, for Tigers, who was away on WXV duties. She's done that nicely, and then there she was on the short side, offering support, squirming feverishly there to get it backwards, and does so. Jones, Ralph up and on to Nicholas. So in at first receiver is Russell. Crab just waited off the tackle there, wary of the juggernaut that was coming at her. Not standing on ceremony there was Tab Copson, open side for Gloucester Hartpury. Makes her shot.
Good roll.
As too does Els, needed to, because Alima had eyes for getting over the halfway line. Lovely footwork into contact there from Gauze, just bagging an extra yard or two before she was brought down onto the 4G here at Kingsholm. It's a lovely surface to play on. And it's still as you like. It's been relatively dry so far, so conditions for running rugby, which interestingly we've not seen any of yet. Some proper speedsters out there.
No, there's been an awful lot of tight play, hasn't there? A lot of forward carrying down that middle of the park between those 15s. But, you know, for Leicester, it's working. They've gone ahead, they're keeping possession, they look very comfortable in that space, and they're just making, this is going to be really important for them, make Gloucester make bad decisions, get penalties, take territory, just keep marching your way up there.
Who's captain, yes?
And a better touch finder there from Nicola. She's getting more confident with those as the game goes on.
Definitely, it'll be huge. Just allow herself to grow into this game. You know, she had some nice little moments, putting some of the forwards into space, but just important for her to build that kicking game, because it will be important.
Lovely. Yeah, that's good. Who's in, who's out? Get in then, please. Thank you. Option. Line it, option.
One that Bainbridge would love another stab at.
Just take the edges.
They had the trick play, they had something up their sleeves, but you've got to be pinpoint with those.
And I think because Gloucester Hartpury have always had such a dominant line out, they're trying to be a bit smart, they're trying to say, look, we're not going to go up, we're going to play along the floor, and to try and encourage Gloucester to stay down, the next line out they go up. But it is such a risky play and puts so much pressure on your hooker.
Luke Stratford, forwards coach at Leicester Tigers, loves... Oh, hang on a minute. Let's not talk about lineouts. Let's talk about Beth Stafford, who has just carried like a train through the midfield. Brilliant line. Lovely short pass.
No.
And then all the speed to burst up and over halfway. It's what she's known for. She is such a barnstorming carrier.
Advantage offside.
But handling just letting both sides down.
Wait for the mark, please. Wait for the mark. Wait. Just there, Chips.
We've had 2 rounds, Katie, of the power-up competition, which very much felt like pre-season fixtures. Lots of new combinations, lots of debuts, and plenty of mainstays actually rested. How much can we expect to see Ross today, despite the inclusion of those new fixtures?
Yeah, 100%. You know, line out there is really nice from Gloucester, but I think you're going to have so many different combinations. There's also been a lot of movement. You know, Ellie Green, it's one of our first games for Gloucester, so there will be a lot of rust. It's just teams, different level, bit of an elevation from power up. So I think it's only to kind of what we would expect at this point early in the season.
Gloucester Hartpury with a free hit here. Out goes the hands of the referee, which means that Crossfield rakes that one. Well gathered. Good coverage there by Amanda Schwartz. So back we come for the penalty.
It's gone some distance, collapsed by 4.
And it's not just a penalty. It is a yellow card, and one being shown to Leah Heath of Leicester Tigers.
Collapse. Yeah, no worries.
One of the athletes that Hudson recruited from the Championship over the summer. She was playing for Kenilworth last year, where she was Players and Coaches Player of the Season at the End of Year Awards. And Hudson said in the week, she alone has justified his decision to go and look in other leagues for bright young things.
Look, it's really smart. Recruiting talent is always going to be hard. We can definitely testify, you know, especially when you sit in the lower part of the league. You look at the likes of Gloucester, who have stockpiled a lot of young English talent. So it's a really smart decision from Leicester to go and look around, see young talent that they can develop and develop in their playing style.
How big is the step up, though, between Championship and PWR? They've had 6 to 8 weeks of pre-season, the Tigers recruits, but surely that's not quite enough.
No, it's huge, and I think that, you know, you can do all the training you want in the world. The big step up comes in the physicality. It becomes in the decision-making there. You look at the yellow card, it's about how cynical it is. Gloucester had such a good nudge on, and I think potentially in the Championship that goes, it's just a penalty. At this level, when it is such a potential definite try-scoring opportunity, this is when referees are going to be stricter.
Such a shame to see Jade Jones's afternoon cut short. On comes Nadine Vincent, another one of this parish, another one who came through the Hartpury pathway. And it's the Hartpury Maul which is rumbling its way towards what would be a first try of the title defence. Pulled down 2 metres short, so to the width they go. Little stutter step there from Millie Hyatt. Well read, and she's held up by a trio of Tigers. Wrestling furiously. But they had a penalty to flex. They need to capitalise it at Gloucester Hartpury, because they have spent an awful lot of time camped in this 22 now.
Yeah, they definitely do, but they're doing the right thing. You know, they're forcing the referee into decisions. They're putting a lot of pressure on Leicester Tigers. One in the bin, again, a maul infringement penalty just makes the referee start to question the decision-making there. It's for the Leicester one, right in the side. You can see her body position there, the impact it has. But yeah, a lot of pressure on Leicester here.
Lots of pressure, and now looking to turn the screw are the queens of English rugby. Stopped 1 metre short this time. They're getting closer by hook or by crook. The circus wants their try, and again they are denied. And it's the woman who gave away the penalty, Zainab Alima, who disrupted that one.
Again, really good defence, but I think Gloucester Hartpury just needs to be a bit more patient. You know, the maul is going so well here. If you look at that, she's in that space here, and they don't need to. I think Amy Dale goes over the top into a lot of Leicester bodies. Just go to your pick-and-go game, round the sides, into the fringes where it's harder to defend.
Well, that's something a little bit different.
It's a great nudge, absolutely great nudge if she meant to.
The nudge was great. The turnover mightier still. Pick Hendy. And going quickly is Bianca Blackburn, waiting for absolutely nobody. Luckily wise to it was her outside centre. So now they reload, and now they have another advantage. Tigers down to 14, staring down the barrel of a Gloucester Hartpury penalty advantage, and something got a little bit personal down there between Russell and Blackburn.
I think referee's got to be a little bit better there for me. You know, Bianca Blackburn is in his ear. She's speaking to him about what she wants to do. She wants to go quickly, and the referee kind of gave Leicester a bit of a lifeline there.
Yeah, I just need to make the decision, before, otherwise it's still play on, okay?
They took 10 quick taps over 2 power-up fixtures in the warm-ups, Gloucester Hartpury, so they like it. It's how they want to play, and if she's watching on, hi Mo Hunt, their squad skipper, she would absolutely approve of that sort of appetite.
Yeah, look, they want to play a quick, fast-paced game. You see this kick, and I think it was meant by Leicester there, you know, into space, great take, but what happens, she gets isolated, doesn't she? She ends up on the ground, and it's an easy turnover. This one, good carry, players got to roll away. You see, has massive impact upon, and they're just the things. And then we see the little shove when Bianca Blackburn wants to go quickly. But for me, they're just the things Leicester just need to tighten up on. They're doing such a great job defensively. They're making Gloucester work, but they've just got to make sure that their penalty count doesn't creep up, because it becomes really, really easy for the referee to give them cheap penalties, especially they're not rolling away.
Water off. Water off. Yeah. Yeah, play on time.
21-year-old university three-peater Amy Dale finds her university teammate Steph Else. Oh, and this one looks promising. This one is down. A cherry and white avalanche. And the reigning champions open their accounts for the new season.
It was always going to come, wasn't it? We were watching up here, and there was only so many times Leicester could stop that. But for me, that's the best Gloucester Hartpury have formed that maul. The drill was top-notch there. Great throw, great jump, but it's the formation here. Look, on the money, how quickly they get into possession. That ball is safe in the middle. And those Leicester forwards need to get in behind it. Once they've been split out the side, it becomes really difficult to stop that pack.
Oh, sorry, okay. Lovely.
Tries all good, mate.
Emma Singh, Red Rose, double Premiership champion, consummate sharp shooter. It's what she does. It is what she has always done. She just oozes class, the fullback, and she makes it a full complement of points. Gloucester Hartpury hit the front for the first time.
Really good nudge, but it was all from their forwards, wasn't it? A lot of pressure, and this is why Gloucester are champions. You know, they're very, very confident in their drill. Doesn't work, we go back to it. Doesn't work, we just change it. This time it goes over.
She's had plenty of exposure now and coverage of international matches, the woman right there, Gwen Hopkins, but she's not had that much time in the PWR at all. She's 19 years old, she's a revelation. Scored on her debut for Wales against Ireland in the Six Nations, and just looks so at home in senior rugby.
She really does. When you say she's only 19, it makes me feel so old. But what a revelation. What a great number 8 she is. Physical, but quick, athletic, you know, gets about, likes to carry. I think she's got a bright, bright future ahead of her.
She's on the other side of the ball right about now, and that's a thunderous hit there on Russell from Stafford. Ralph onto her open side. Morgan Richardson, confirmation that Roisin McBrien will not be rejoining us. That HIA remains a permanent replacement, which is such a shame, because she is going to be a huge star this season. Richardson
Off now, leave.
goes again. Rootling for it is Ralph, finds Russell. Here's Katie Childs, one of the 2 Swedish internationals in the Tigers side, and this now the try scorer. Charlotte Frey makes inroads yet again. Russell's lurking out on the wing, but they keep it tight. They keep it with Alima. And what about that as a response from Tigers? weekend on her Premiership Women's Rugby debut. Look at the smile. Zainab Alima. Well, her mantra is be bold, be brave, be a bulldozer. She's just shown us all three of those.
Great try, yes, great finish, but what a team try. All about the place. That lady again, Charlotte Frey, great clear. Thought they've done that all the way through Leicester. Good clearing. It's good footwork, good leg drive. She's seen that she's against a fullback. She's got a head up, dropped her height. Emma Singh slid off there, and it's a really good finish. But the build up to that from Leicester was really good. It looked like they were losing their way, but their core skills for me have really impressed. Their ability to carry, get them behind, and then clean that ruck so the ball is on the plate for Amy Ralph has been very, very good.
Up go the flags, up ticks the score, and a 14 Tiger visitors side leading the reigning champions at Queensholme.
That other 7 forwards, but just good basics, you know, good carries, good clearing, look after your possession, and they really are stressing Gloucester.
First time we've seen Emma Singh ball in 2 hands this season. Green with an arcing pass over her left shoulder and onto Lund, who beats 1, 2, 3 Tigers before she's hauled to turf. Bodies pile in support. And there's the penalty advantage. Options. Hendy popping up on the wing. Fabulous tackle from Ralph. She rolls, gets up, goes again. Russell's shot sticks. Oh, the turnover was well executed, but with a body down in the background. Looks like El Perry for Gloucester Hartpury. We will come back for that earlier infringement.
It's a nice play here from Gloucester, isn't it? Ellie Green identified the edge, and just a really, really good attacking run. What a tackle from Ailey Ralph there, and then followed up by Jordan Russell. It's smart, it's decisive, but then that breakdown becomes a bit of a mess, doesn't it? It's that lady Pip Hendy. She was great last year for Gloucester. Really, really bright talent. Just takes the space in front of her, puts her head down and goes.
Time off, we'll just wait there.
They are so proud in these parts of their pathway, of the work that they do to identify young talent, to bring them to Hartpury, to go through the college and then the university system, to play in the Bucks competition, in which they are the reigning champions 3 times over, and then they filter them on and up to the circus. And the perfect example of that is Pip Hendy, who made her debut after Rachel Lund hurt her wrist early in the season, and then went on to play all but 1 game in their title tilt. It's made to look effortless, but it's not, is it? There's a lot of work behind the scenes.
A lot of work, but I think a lot of work that is paying off. You know, we talk about depth, we talk about how compact this league's going to be. People like players like Pip Hendy are going to be really crucial to sides that want to go on and challenge. And I think what Gloucester Hartpury have here, like you say, is the perfect pathway. A college to get them in young at 16, and then they've got a really nice development tool where they're getting high-level college rugby, they're getting Bucks Super Rugby, and then they've got an opportunity to go and transition and play for the circus, like you say, as well as having teams like Cheltenham Tigers, Champside, where they're getting playing minutes. So definitely from here, with my sail hat on, looking on quite enviously, that you've just got this stream of players that you can see from 16 to know where they're going to come and where they might feature in your first team.
She's made a stern stuff, El Perry. There's a lot of tape on that ankle, but she is straight into this rolling maul, which has inhaled 5 metres. Make that 6, 7, 8. Are they going all the way? Hauled down, but then leaping like a salmon over the top was Amy Dale. The lead changes hands. Yet again, we have got a proper battle on our hands.
We have, but I think we've just seen where Gloucester Hartpury know they're going to have this Leicester side. Again, it's that maul. It was so dominant, and you can see from up here how well set it is. Again, great arrows. They're so organised. But for me, these two Leicester forwards have to get involved early. As soon as that gets momentum, it is so hard. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got your fly half from Leicester jumping in there. No fly half, trust me, ever wants to get in there. But it's how well it's formed, you know, bodies behind. Once it gets into motion, it becomes so difficult. So I'm sure it's something Leicester will talk about at half-time, how they stop that forming and getting to that point.
Well, the first one was pinpoint, the second anything but. 12 apiece in this one, as Leah Heath returns to join us. We should also stress that the Hartpury pathway is exemplary. It's not the only one. Brunel University's links with Trailfinders, who pushed Saracens all the way yesterday. Loughborough Lightning, so keen to use the university there. And Loughborough Bristol Bears bring through so much talent. Renika Bonner picking up right where she left off with an 8-minute hat-trick. The clubs are all working incredibly hard to make sure that the young talent is sucked right up.
Yeah, and that's the same with the uni, you know, big investment into college rugby to provide playing opportunities. It's going to be huge. We've got to provide a pathway that allows young players to see PWR as something to aspire to, and I think the way the college system will work and will feed in will be huge. Clubs that get it right will really reap rewards of it, but also it's just a great opportunity for young girls to be getting more exposure and playing more rugby.
In from Ralph and then out again, this Childs, who manages to get up and just lose contact with the ball there. Fine work in the tackle from Copson, because Childs had eyes for the try line. Freeing her hands brilliantly there was Richardson, and she does draw the penalty as a result. Hot stepping work from Charlotte Daly, pinwheeling through contact. Back we come for the penalty.
Let's formally check this.
And we will be heading up to join Anthony Woodthorpe, our TMO, for the first time this afternoon.
Just getting the angles.
Yeah, we're just checking out.
So mate, there's a clear, deliberate knock-on. Let's get up.
It's not realistic, catchable. It's not a natural action. That's 11. We're getting penalty, yellow card, deliberate knock-on.
Yeah, I agree. There's a line break opportunity, but someone's sweeping in the background.
Yeah,
Personally, I think that's harsh. I think Rachel Lunn's gone to tackle. It's in the tackle. Yes, there's no intent to catch, and maybe I just see this from a back's perspective, but I think they're the ones that are so difficult, especially because you have gone to wrap the tackle and it's passing in motion at the same time.
Take the 5. We're getting numbers, you just take the 5. Take the 5.
It's a very neat nudge indeed. And Nikki Simpson will have the darts just outside the 5-metre line. Finds her target. Oh, it's the trick play. There's a pirouette and a pop off the bat onto Russell. This now Richardson swerving and straightening and bundled backwards by Crabb. Fabulous work at that breakdown to get it away quickly, but equally fine was the tackle from young captain Steph Else, who caught the eyes of John Mitchell earlier on in the year and had her first Red Roses training camp involvement at just 20. Ball placed backwards. There's numbers if they can just wrap around here, Leicester Tigers, but they're keeping it tight for now. And there's the turnover, and there are the celebrations. And she's playing on 1 foot, but Elle Perry is making a right nuisance of herself. Singh goes quickly. There is a chase on here. Three Tigers herring backwards, Singh hot on their heels, also Woodman and also Hyatt. And on debut, Charlie Woodman wrapping up her opposite number. Look at the territory gain, the turnover from Perry, the boot from Singh, and then the kick chase voracious.
Leave now, hold. Tigers stop, hold.
Nicholas absolutely thwacks that and alleviates the pressure for now.
I'd be gutted if I'm El Perry there, because that is a massive moment in terms of your turnover. And Emma Singh has literally ruined the chance of that being replayed. But we're going to get to see it because somebody's really smart. It's just such good timing. You can't emphasise how important those moments are, especially by the experience of somebody like El Perry. And then Emma Singh, you know, she knows Gloucester want to go quickly, gets ahead up, sees the backfield, and they're away. And for me, the chase up here, we get to see them high, was huge.
Well, you got your replay, Al Perry, as you deserve. And there's one very much being earned there by Nikki Simpson. Turnovers coming thick and fast in the West Country. 12 apiece, half an hour played.
It's a massive area of Leicester's game as well. You know, 30% of their possession came from turnovers in the power-up series. So something that they've worked really hard on there, identifying the opportunity, getting good body height, good position, and getting reward for it.
That's fine.
Bouncing ball for Russell, but gathered well.
Lost forward.
There's a scrum advantage coming the way of Tigers, and Russell is a woman possessed today. Here's Ralph looping over the top of the defenders and onto Heath, and just like that we have gone end to end. Leicester Tigers are storming Kingsholm. They've not read the form book with scant disregard for the rankings. First place 9th in last year's Premiership women's rugby table, but they're leading and leading well.
They really, really are. I've got to say, I'd written them off in this game, but the way they've turned up, their attention to detail, the skill. This lady has been amazing. Jordan Russell, ably supported by Charlotte Frey as well. And then Amy Ralph, I thought she should have put her head down. But they do such a good job of keeping the ball alive. And then it's breakdown. First two people in and over, and speed of ball, and just good decision-making, running straight. And then it is a walk-in. You will not get an easier try than that. But it's just such good, such accurate play by Leicester Tigers.
And how good to see. We've spoken about Gwen Crabb's return from injury, but Evie Wills, who signed for Tigers last year, and 3 sessions in before she'd even pulled on a jersey, ruptures her ACL. She's worked like a demon to get back. Kick bananas wide.
Yeah, look, it's great to see. I think there's been a lot of ACL injuries, hasn't there? We've talked about them. But here, she won't get an easier try to score, you know. She doesn't even have to beat a Gloucester player because the work's been done for her. But it's a nice reward, isn't it? When you've worked so hard, you've watched, you will have felt a little bit detached from the squad being injured. To be able to come in, get your name on the score sheet is a great return.
Well, she bagged herself a 70-metre screamer of an intercept against Loughborough last time out, which wasn't on telly. So there you go, Evie. You've got one before the cameras. Green on debut, and there was almost an intercept to be had there by a leaping Charlotte Frey. But it did find its intended recipient, Hendy, and now Dale. Blackburn finds Singh in at first receiver. She's a lovely distributor of the ball, is Emma Singh. But she can gallop too, as can Hyatt, who stabs that one through but turns away in disgust because I think she wanted a little bit more distance on that.
Probably not the execution she wanted, but the idea is very, very smart. I think, you know, you don't want to overplay in the middle. They know that when they're getting into Leicester's 22, that their line out is functioning. So I'd be doing exactly that. Put them under pressure, squeeze them, make them go to something that they don't look particularly comfortable at.
Over fingertips that line out went, but it's tidied up really neatly and offloaded from Stafford to Hopkins, who so far has managed to add a try to Gloucester Hartpury's afternoon. Singh with one to beat, sails her up the river with that dummy.
Try's good, mate.
It's audacious and classy, and it's Emma Singh all over. A proper circus score.
It was, but for me, it came from that moment from Millie Hyatt, you know, the little kick in behind, squeeze and Leicester's set piece. I don't know if we'll see, there was an overthrow there, and then it's just a circus coming to life. Good lift off the ground by Beth Stafford, that lady we've talked about, carries so well, beats players, and then Leicester just aren't getting their fold, or they're not getting off the line. Good wide pass again, Millie Hyatt assist, and then Emma Singh. Ball in two hands, like good football, good fullbacks. Little show and go, isn't it? It's wide, it's stretching defenders, it's making defenders make decisions, and then she's got an easy walk in. But it's just good quality play from the circus, especially when they get from football.
And the unicorn approves.
I need that hat up here, my ears are freezing.
Clean as a whistle. Singh back on song. And Gloucester Hartpury leading by the slenderest of margins.
Yeah, it's a nice kick there by Emma Singh. Converts her own try, but they're just so dangerous, Gloucester Hartpury. And I think this is where Leicester, you know, they're working so hard to get points on the board. They've just got to make sure that they do their drill right. There she is again.
Play on. Yeah.
Well, she scores them, she converts them, and she makes a mean banana bread. She turned up with baked goodies for everybody at training on Tuesday. Kinder Bueno, no less.
Great choice.
Well, it's the dream restart for Gloucester Hartpury. Right as I say that, the ball skittles past Hendy. It's very well gathered by try-scorer Wills. Russell is there in as acting scrum half as Ralph jogs back around and into position. Schwartz, Sweden's captain. Figure skater turned rugby player. She's got all the swerve and style you'd imagine. But hasn't had too much time to show us any of that, because most of what Leicester have done well has been up front. It's been grunt and work and taking it to the champions. Singh, the dink up and over the top. Bounces kind. Is Singh about to score? An absolute puttler beneath the sticks. Yes, she is. Well, shut the book. We might have just had try of the opening rounds right there.
It was a great bit of individual brilliance, but I am sure Leicester's coaches will have their head in their hands. Rule 101, don't let it bounce. Emma Singh lets it bounce because I think it was a smart kick by Sarah Nicholas. They were overplaying here. We see it, she sends it long, she finds a bit of turf. Emma Singh gets a lucky touch, I think, and then gets her head up, you know, beats the first defender, and then she's in space. She's identified a little bit of backfield. I just think Sarah Nicholas needs to be quicker there. It's hard to watch, but it's a lovely, lovely little bit of skill for Emma Singh. Great touch, great gather, great finish.
We're going to restart anyway, so we will restart, so let's just go.
This to take her tally up to 16 for the opening 40. Easy as you like.
She just looks so composed, doesn't she? She knew exactly what she was doing. She works really, really hard off the ball and got a reward there. So yes, we're talking about the bounce of the ball, but you've got to put yourself in that position to regather it, and she did.
She's just so languid. It's effortless to her.
Like an old Sue Day. We're going back now.
Oh, that is high praise indeed.
Good roll. Gloucester, stop!
1 minute remains. Green onto Schwartz. We're trying to tell you all about the rugby that is taking place elsewhere, but there's just not been a break in play. It has been such an electric and engaging opening 40.
Play on, stolen, ripped in the tackle, play on. Sorry, first man.
El Perry again proving an artful dodger in defence, just picking pockets. Green Hacking that one over the top and onto Schwartz, whose coverage is exemplary. She works so hard. Just to mark your cards, Saracens versus Exeter
Tigers on me.
will complete what has been a barnstorming round 3 of the Gallagher Premiership. And then at 5:15, the Rugby Review is back with a very special guest in Ben Earl. And the next Sunday, we will be bringing you Trailfinders up against Loughborough Lightning. Same time, same place.
4 out now.
And a Trailfinders time who look bang up for it this season. That scoreline at the StoneX, eye-catching indeed. 38-29, Vicky Laughlin with a hat-trick. And bonus points in North London are hard to come by.
They really are, really, really are. It sounds like a very good game.
Blackburn to Green, on to Hendy, well read by Wills, but offside. So out comes the hand of our referee. And Gloucester can really throw the dice. Hopkins heads back against the grain, but the shot there from Richardson.
On 22, BB.
Hudson saying in the week that it's not about the size of the dog in the fight, but the fight in the dog, and he looks for scrappy warriors indeed. Back for the penalty. So this, the final action of this first half.
Yeah, we're just watching it back now. Tonight, Ellie Green there probably just need to hold their depth a little bit more on the outside channels there. Gloucester, you know, getting hit man and ball.
Yeah, let's just get this sorted, please. Thanks, Emily. Just wait till she's in position. You going to call her?
Change being made.
Lovely.
Charlotte Frey is off, so on is Eva Pohanemo for a head injury assessment. So hopefully we'll see Frey back again. Hyatt with clearance duties there.
6.
She's a bit disappointed with that one. She would have been looking to put that right on that 5, give her forwards the easiest opportunity to try and drive that over.
From a long way out. Surely they're not going to rumble all the way from there. Well, they don't need to, because Hopkins adds another couple of decent defenders to her tally. Blackburn finding Else, who's got Perry in support, and they're still going. A little pod of dynamos within 5 metres now. Dropping a granity shoulder there is Copson. Tackle made, and back the way they came. Oh, it's lovely footwork, a shimmy from Else. 1 metre to make up. Blackburn wonders about going herself. Out she goes, in she goes. Stopped just short is Bianca Blackburn. They are queuing up for it. Over the top goes Amy Dale, and the champions have their 5th. Oh, it's tough, isn't it? You know, how the half can shift so quickly. Leicester there just looking like they ran out of steam. It was always going to be tough when Gloucester entered the 22, especially with the carry, you know, Steph Ells, Gwyneth Hopkins, Beth Stafford, Elle Perry. They just keep going down. The names keep coming. Gwen Crabb. Here, like you say, they were queuing over, and it's just Gloucester Hartpury looking really, really composed there. Leicester had run out of players on that short side, left their winger on their own, and it was an easy finish for Amy Dale. It's been 19 unanswered points. What a swing. And this effort from Emma Singh could bring it up to 21. Two tries and 4 conversions, all in a half's work for Emma Singh, who's been at the heart of an emphatic opening 40 from the reigning champions. They took a little while to get going, but once the tides had turned, it was a cherry avalanche. 33 plays 17 at half-time here in Kingsholm. Been a change to bring you up to speed on. Gemma Bell is on, wearing 20 for Gloucester Hartpury, and it's her with the tape around her head, just raising her hands there. Ball ricochets off the 4G, up over her head, and it's reclaimed brilliantly by Tigers.
Play on, all play on.
Just goes through the legs there of Ellen Beaver, but somehow they keep the ball in field. Just knocked on by Zainab Alima. So we will have our first scrum right at the start of this second half.
Time off there.
Here are the changes. Gemma Bell on.
Time off for this, yeah.
A young and extremely exciting Scottish talent. Was MVP in the Under-20 Summer Series for her country and got a call up to Brian Eason's senior squad as a result. Said she was gobsmacked by the call up. Charlie Woodman on debut, just receiving a little bit of attention there. The right winger, who we've not really seen get too stuck in yet, but she flies once she gets going. She really does.
Lost the word then.
I gave her a minute to finish eating her sweet next to me and to get her breath back from scaling the stairs here at Kingsholm, because we are getting our money's worth out of Katie Daly-McLean today.
Sorry.
Katie, welcome back.
Thank you. And they are such good sweets, I may add. I did have two.
Two?
Yeah.
You could have one. Well, for Ofcom reasons, we're probably not actually allowed to plug which brand of sweets they are, but they are very good. You always need a bit of sugar at half-time.
And vegan friendly.
Very good.
Bind! Set!
Well, nothing vegan friendly about that scrum. That was absolutely hulking. But going the way of Gloucester Hartpury, Leicester seem pretty pleased with their put in and shove.
Yeah, definitely, but they've just gone round, isn't it, on referee's call. I think the next 20 are going to be huge for Leicester. You know, they've really, that first opening 20 minutes of the first half, they were very good, but what they can't do now is let the score get away from them. They can't let Gloucester build a score here. We see it here.
So what does that look like in practice? How do they go about stemming the bleeding whilst also being next to strike?
I think the thing they did really well in the first half was they held the ball. If they've got the ball, Gloucester can't score, right? It's quite simple. And they're very comfortable holding the ball as well. So that for me, don't play your basics well. When you get your opportunity, take it, keep a hold of it.
Leads advantage over, the knock-on.
Very quick knock-on advantage there, hardly a second or two to flex. It's Leah Heath, one of the look forwards, who just had a tilt. This now Charlotte Frey. They have been industrious, so eager to get their hands on the ball. Alima, fresh from scoring her first Premiership try, gets stripped. Oh, someone's applied soap to the ball at half-time, it seems, because the knock-ons are coming at a rate of knots. Well, to Nicholas, who spots the space in the backfield, and it's right through the arms of Singh, who now finds herself with a clear route down that touchline, drops it onto her laces, stabs it through, picks out Schwartz, who sets off hard and clatters into else. Short side, lovely hands there, Evie Wills in at second receiver. Had the easiest of finishes in that first half in which Jordan Russell was taking names and adding to each and every stat. Nicholas delaying that one and finding Schwartz, who looks to get the fend away, but it's well read by Hyatt. Ralph on to Heath, who juggles and then just watches as it tumbles towards a cherry-clad jersey.
Advantage over for the knock-on.
Hendy met really well by Nikki Simpson. Big, direct shot, no frills about that. And Rachel Lund back on after that sin bin. Finds herself well met by Charlotte Daly. They are standing up to be counted in defence, are these Tigers? They're not missing many tackles either.
No, not at all. Their defensive has been very, very good. Really, really pressing Gloucester's attack.
Singh, 16 points. And now the name of Zainab Alima was a big shot.
Advantage, not rolling 5.
Caught not rolling there is Frey.
5, not rolling.
Penalty. But this time not going quickly. Bianca Blackburn just says patience.
And the corner's working for them, isn't it? They're going to want to score first. They're going to want to build this score now. Straight into the corner. And we can probably guess what might come next.
Edge of that white line, Chibs, yeah.
It's a great fend by Emma Singh there, isn't she? I think it's on Gordon, isn't it? Back to the chest. Nothing worse as a defender than getting you sat down by an attacking, and especially when you're a back on a forward.
Dale. A brace already. 5 tries in the bag for Gloucester Hartpury, who have eyes for a 6th, but sack themselves. Calling for it is Crab. Else locks on and drives her over. 5 metres between the reigning champions, and another one at Queenstown. Desperate scramble defence from the visitors, but this now is Bell pirouetting through contact, but still not finding the whitewash. Green with plenty of options, but opts to tuck it under an elbow and go it alone. Blackburn wrestles it free, and here is Samudar on an incisive line.
Release.
Blackburn onto Dale. Alima with the tackle. Singh, flat pass onto Perry, stops, stutters, spins, gets the ball onto Hyatt. Lovely handling from the loose head there. She has been omnipresent in this one. Else, whose first look is always to carry. She's always so keen to make some hay. Here now, Stafford on her PWR debut for the champions, but yet again held up. They are nuggety, this Leicester team.
They are, and if you're on their coaching box and you're watching that, that is what you want to see from your players, isn't it? 33-17 down, you want to see your team that wants to commit, that wants to fight, and their defence has been ferocious here. They are good ball carriers, just smart underneath the ball. For me, I think you should have brought that back over. Once you've got the ball, just because of the ruling, so once you get carried over, attacking team have the opportunity to kick out. It's kind of a good defensive option.
Well, the clearance kick didn't quite go according to plan. It looked for a moment as though Woodman was going to have a run in, but it was plucked precociously by Ellen Beaver. New into the PWR from Worcester University, one of those bright young things they pulled from the championship and reckon will fly at this level. Russell with her latest escapades. There's the penalty.
Straight on the ball, please.
The turtle, the turnover, the near intercept, and now the penalty. They're just back-to-backing those positive involvements.
And that's all you've got to do. We talked about what actions do you need to see. You need to see defending your line with heart, tick. Then you need to see yourself exit smartly without giving unnecessary risk. And then when you're getting penalties, just taking the metres out of Gloucester, keep turning them around, keep pushing them back. Go from 80 if they want to score.
Yeah.
So is round 1 the best time to have Gloucester Hartpury, in your opinion, given that they've got so many away?
Round 1 to 3, in my opinion.
Yes.
Sale don't have them in any of those rounds. But yeah, I think, you know, just chatting to James Forrester downstairs, they've got so many players away, so I think 22, there was something like 14 out of 15 of their starters not available. So what they hope is that they see the girls who are given this shot now really put their hand up and really fight for a shirt when the others return. And it is a nice model, one I'm very envious of.
Tigers, we're good to go.
Saracens against Exeter on TNT Sports 1 right after us, and then on the same channel, but a week away. I'm afraid you'll have to wait 7 whole days. We are back in PWR land. It's Trailfinders up against Lightning, who have made some eye-catching summer signings. They're away at WXV, of course they are. It's the narrative of the opening rounds, but Loughborough Lightning surely back in the semi-finals this year if they can keep the likes of Alev Kelter and Chrissy Skirfield fit and on the puck. Singh on defensive duties. Oh, lovely step, but then the fumble, a collector's item.
It was a really smart kick by Evie Wills into that corner, you know, but you thought once Emma Singh had beaten that first defender, were we going to see her go from 90 metres? But yeah, somebody puts soap on it, she will not want to watch this back. It's, you know, does the hard thing, and then you just kind of got ripped in it, knocked out of her hand.
Yeah, there. Left, good space.
Good opportunity for Leicester, though.
Same, you know, Gloucester straight.
Tom Hudson's women have made it from over their own try line to 15 metres out. They wanted to force Gloucester Hartpury to abandon plan A and use plan B. Whether or not they fully managed that remains to be seen, but they have certainly flustered the queens of the Premiership. Here is Wills, who's growing into this game with each and every touch, and now Childs does a full 360 before sitting down delicately and placing that backwards for Ralph. Nicholas with Richardson on her outside, but in she heads to find Frey. Ralph. Richardson, the 21-year-old from Stockport. Gordon up against her former club. And again, the very appropriately named Frey.
Advantage.
She is busy, she causes chaos. But it is a chaos that suits the home side. They'll have the put in.
Yeah, thank you.
And those are the moments that are crucial, aren't they? You know, when you've just marched the team about 90 metres, it's how you make them pay. You can't just accept the entry. It's it's a great line, but it's so close to the defence. It allows El Perry to get a good dominant shot in. But El Perry, by the way, has been phenomenal, like you say, given she's only on one leg, and the other one is strapped on.
And she's still going as well, El Perry. 50 minutes on one foot. Gloucester Hartpury are making changes elsewhere, though, because Bianca Blackburn is off, so it is on for a first appearance in Gloucester Hartpury colours in the PWR for Meg Davies, 22-year-old scrum half. Spent time at Exeter, learning her trade from Patricia Garcia. Time at Bristol too.
Yeah, you're fine. Good.
And now back where she first started playing the game at the top level. Also on, wearing 23, is Jade Shekels.
Yeah. Is that right? Yeah, so 5 is permanent.
There she is. An Olympian. Played sevens out in Paris and scored against Ireland, in fact, in that 7th place playoff for Team GB. Just an out-and-out athlete. Real asset.
Yeah, it's a great signing, isn't it? You know, potentially he's going to be on the bench and used as an impact player. But like you say, she's phenomenal for Team GB. She looks in really, really good nick. Obviously, that sevens training looks very lean, very physical. We know she's a very good ball carrier.
When they were playing 15 on 15 on Tuesday as well, so interesting to see the way that Shekels was fitting in pretty much everywhere from 12 through till 15. I guess with a sevens background, there's that utility element to the way that she plays the game.
Yeah, and she's got a great skill set as well, you know, centres, handling, whether she's got the out-and-out pace to go on your wing, but, you know, a great somebody to bring on at 50 minutes. It's not bad pedigree, is it?
No. This is Eva Poimo. Also plays sevens internationally for Finland, where she's a 15s cap as well. She's straight on into this scrum, and here on debut is Meg Davies.
Set.
It's in, it's eventually out. And Singh takes the pragmatic route with this one. Up over halfway, she's got a cannon on her. Schwartz half got the fend off on Woodman, but the right winger kept tussling. Managed to eventually haul her down, but not before conceding the penalty. Nicholas splashes onto her front there. Back for the penalty.
5 metres inside. Keep going, no, it's mine, so use 10 off me. 21-9, always in front, always advancing. 21, yeah, not 9.
Okay, so this penalty is really interesting, isn't it? Because it's around that kick and law that you have to be seen to retreat before you go forward. What the referee's saying there is that 9 never did that. She always went forward. She's made no attempt to go back.
Going quickly, Nicholas through to Simpson, through the hands of Wills. And now this, Childs with half of Gloucestershire for company. Oh, it's worked. They've turned it.
Good roll.
It's Lund at the base of that one, and King, much like Singh before her,
Play on.
Sends that one long.
Are you calling it? Is it offside, Chips, or not?
Schwartz
Okay.
beats one, beats two, swerving and slaloming. The ice skater
Still advantage,
showing us
offside.
what she is all about. They've got an offside to play with here. Russell onto Richardson. Divine offload, wonderful support line. Ball out and onto Beaver. If she's got that down, it is turnover perfection at Kingsholm.
What a finish that is.
Lovely.
What a try as well. I mean, fair play. Leicester Tigers have come here and said, you know, it is, we're not going to this script. We've got our own that we've written. That is a great, well-worked team try.
Okay.
So it comes all from the kick, isn't it? Again, we let it bounce. But hey, we'll move on. And it's just good counter-attack, isn't it? Finds a little space there, and then she's up and running. And once you're in behind, it's how quickly you can react. Like, almost all bets are off. It's all about shape, and they do this. Again, Jordan, nice little loop with our back row partner, isn't it? And I think she should straighten here. She gives Beaver not a lot of space to work for, doesn't she? Because she's going lateral. But just smart, nice little straight in there, and then it's potentially she could have fixed and give, but hey, who cares? And it's a good finish by the winger into the corner.
Well, Russell had absolute faith in her teammate because she was scoring a long way before the dot down. The finish better than the kick attempt, but that is the bonus point try for Leicester Tigers. So whatever happens, they will not leave Kingsholm, home of the champions, empty-handed.
Which is huge, you know. This is what they will set out. The season will not always be about the wins, but it'll be about taking control of yourselves, picking up points where you can. Can you get a point for scoring 4 tries? Can you get within 7 of your opposition? 2 points every weekend is it's where they'd want to be.
We talked about heads in hands a bit earlier on, Katie. They are back there right about now because that's a knocked-on ball without any pressure on it off the kickoff.
Tackle!
And it just gives an opportunity right away to Gloucester Hartpury. Shackles showing us just what she might do in Premiership women's rugby. And there was going to be absolutely no stopping Rachel Lund with the try line at her mercy.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? You talked about it there, Claire. You know, them one errors against teams as good as Gloucester will make you pay. And here it is, just really smart. Jay Checkles in behind them, pod of 2 forwards, giving Ellie Green lots of communication that she wants the ball. She's found that edge space. Really smart, dummy, sells the winger, and then we know Rachel Lund has pace to burn. There was only going to be one winner in that race. But smart, nice bit of attacking play from Gloucester there.
Tries good, mate.
Well, she's had a knack historically, Rachel Lund, at scoring when it matters most. Always on the score sheet in semi-finals and in finals and in big derbies. And just then, when Tigers might have roared their way back into proceedings, she grows the lead again.
An all-round good egg as well. Rachel Lund is one of those people that is a really good person. You know, been off with the Barbarians to South Africa as well. So get an opportunity because, you know, she's been such a stalwart for Gloucester. She's been there a long time, plays a lot of rugby, like you say, comes up good in big moments. So it's nice to see her getting additional rewards within the game.
She's their Allianz Cup captain as well. Really trusted to bring through that next crop. And absolutely essential when the internationals are away to have athletes like her, personalities like her.
Tackle!
38 plays at 22, and Meg Davies appears to be made out of Teflon. On debut, finds another debutant in Charlie Woodman. We wondered how the circus would cope without their superstars, and it turns out they've just gone away and found some more.
Not sure how Mo Hunt will feel about that, or Bianca Blackburn. It's a really nice try, isn't it? Came on, asked to make an impact, identifies short size Jenny Maxwell holding the edges of Leicester 9, and then once she's off and running, ball in two hands, good fix and give, good basics, good support, like I say, from Charlie Woodman, and again, it's a nice run in, but all made by Meg Davies there, you know, the ability to back yourself, to get your head up early as a 9, scan space. It's not all about moving the ball from the breakdown, and then once you break and you do your basics very well, well done, Meg.
Singh slots it, and it is 45 plays 22 with the final quarter remaining. Sean Lynn watching on. And that's how it came about. The two newbies in tandem. Jenny Maxwell is on, wearing 21 for Leicester Tigers, the new signing from Loughborough Lightning, the Scotland international. So they have a new scrum half, and they've also brought on, wearing number 23, Emma Mundy. She's replaced Amanda Schwartz, and she is a proper crackerjack of a back three athlete, so keep an eye out for her. Green, a lovely step inside, just leaving her opposite number flailing.
Red, stop! Yeah,
Davies
she's onside, play on.
Into Hyatt. Well gathered, and here is the newcomer. Here is Mundy. Ball in two hands, beats 1, 2, 3, eventually stops her. Shackles, wise to the jinx and swagger of the former Cheltenham Tiger. Singh spots the space. Woodman herring after it, on for a brace. The kick is perfect. The finish, deft and dainty and utterly devastating. That might be the game right there. And Charlie Woodman is having a debut to remember.
Yeah, standing up here, you can see all that space in the backfield. And I'm just wondering, is Emma Singh going to put ball to boot, or is she going to follow her instinct in? Well, you could see she looked like she was in two minds here. You won't get it from this angle. El Perry link, she looks, because there is numbers, and it's a perfectly weighted kick. Especially when you've got the pace of Charlie Woodman, isn't it? It's like, go chase it. The only thing that was going to beat her there was whether the ball went dead, but it was perfectly weighted. Really, really lovely decision there by Emma Singh.
If you're wondering if you recognise that surname from anywhere, Charlie is indeed Trevor's daughter, a legend of Gloucester Rugby, a World Cup winner in 2003 with England. She's played at Exeter, she's played for Matatu in the New Zealand Super Rugby, and she represented GB7s this summer at European level. Now she is a try scorer for the champions of the PWR. Kick goes just wide. But unsurprising, she is smiling.
Bet she is after that.
Hudson and Lynn watching on from their respective positions. Sean Lynn always down one end of the pitch. She likes that vertical view of a rugby field. Oh, and Beaver thought she might have just plucked that from West Country skies, but she was well enveloped.
Red, hold, stop.
Hyatt looking to split the backfield for Tigers, but that's well communicated. Celia Kwanzaa is on a last-minute call-up. The GB7's flyer, another Olympian out onto the fields. And there she is, that fine placement allows for crisp onwards play, and this is Childs once more. Gloucester Hartpury screaming for a knock-on.
Leave it.
But it falls upon deaf ears. Maxwell How good to see her back playing after the time she has had with knee injuries.
Backwards.
Woodman on the gather. It's a one-on-one with Beaver. It's a two-on-one. She leaves them. And that, an unavoidable knock-on.
Tigers.
Tigers play it.
Tackle. Still advantage for the knock-on.
Copson and Vincent, former university teammates, having a right old tug-of-war over the ball there. But it's still with Tigers. 4 tries and counting, the visitors. Gloucester Hartpury have 8. Mundy on to Shackles. Look at the chase. GB Flyer on GB Flyer. Kwanzaa is racing, but to absolutely no avail. What a day to be a Gloucester Hartpury debutant.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's hard, though, because I really feel for Leicester. You know, they've come and they've played. Scoreline probably doesn't reflect what's happening to them, and there's still 17 minutes left, but a really good read by Jade Shekels. You see them here. They're connected, that Gloucester defence, and they keep going. Real balls in the air. You go. When it's in somebody's hands, you've got to stop and hold your feet. Bit of a long pass, and she just gets in front of that Leicester player. And then, like you say, it was a straight race with a little bit of a head start because Celia Kwanzaa's got to turn and go. Yeah, it's tough if you're the Leicester players watching that happen, but a good defensive read there for Jade Shekels, and she gets her reward.
Tries for Singh, Lund, Woodman and Shackles. And away at WXV, the likes of Hurd, Nell Metcalf, Sian Jones, Leahy George, Mo Hunt, Lucia Scott. It's going to be quite difficult selecting a backline once they're all back.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't feel sorry for him. I mean,
no, nor should
and
you.
I don't think anybody will. I think what's going to be interesting is the depth and how he uses it. Like we've said, the season is condensed. It's going to be quick. You're going to play big chunks of games. So actually, something like this, when lots of players are performing well, really helps the Gloucester side. We've talked about them. Can they do this 3 times on the bounce? This 3 league wins. But they have the depth now, and obviously some of these girls are really performing as well, and I think that's what's going to give them the edge over some of the other top 4 sides.
Advantage. Cheers, mate. 2 knock-ons, scrum, Gloucester.
We've seen 8 PWR sides in action this weekend, Katie. Wins for the other 3 semi-finalists from last year in Saracens, Bristol Bears and Exeter Chiefs. The one side we haven't seen this weekend are Sale Sharks, so pop your Sale cap on for me. Not that you ever take it off, of course. How was pre-season? How are you tracking?
Yeah, no, it's gone really well. Like you say, Sim has a lot of other squads, you know, lots of girls away, and it's hard just to try and, because the girls that are here permanently are the ones that will have started the pre-season right in July, so trying to keep them fresh, not overwork them. I think for us it's going well. This is always going to be a long journey. It was never going to be short. You know, the north is very different to the rest of the country and how recruitment happens, but for us it's a long journey, something we're really proud of, you know. Rachel Taylor's doing a great job, but we'll probably want to look at this try.
Ellen Beaver has her brace. It was opportunistic.
All good.
But it's reflective of the fact that Leicester Tigers just will not go away. They promised us that this season they would play the 80, and they are doing that right now.
It's going to be important for all the lower position sides, isn't it? Here, Emma Singh tries to get an offload off, but actually Beaver's done a really good job to get in the way. She's got in between the pass again. We saw Jade Shekels just do it a minute ago, and I think that's what you've got to do. You've got to force errors, and then when you get your opportunity, make sure you take them. And for Leicester, this will be a long season. Look, they will be very aware of that. But these moments are the ones they've got to celebrate. Put in 27 points on the champions is huge, and it's because they've come and played, and they've played well.
Well, I won't talk about what an excellent place kicker Emma Mundy is until after she has taken this one. mark. Emma Mundy is an excellent place kicker. She knows Tom Hudson from their time together at Cheltenham Tigers, and he was so keen to sign her. Fly half, wing, full back, and got a wicked step on her too, by all accounts.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want, isn't it? Utility back that has a goal kicking knack. You know, I felt the pressure for her as soon as you said that. So it's great to see her. Good conversion, give her a lot of confidence as well.
Backwards first, play on. Hold here.
Richardson, who has been frenetically busy throughout this one with the restart. Maxwell back
Tigers,
into the pocket where Nicholas thinks she's spotted an opportunity via the little dink over the top, but she knocks it on.
Forward.
So there's a put-in if Gloucester Hartpury want it, but they don't. They want to play. Of course they do.
Okay, we'll come back. No advantage there. Easy, easy, easy. Scrum.
One Italian away at WXV for you, and a couple of Italians away too. Obviously, we are all smitten with B. Rigoni, but she's not the only Azzurri up in Salford these days.
No, they really like the weather. If you ask Bea, she really enjoys the northwest weather.
Yeah, you come up to that.
Yeah, no, like Sophia Stefan coming in's been brilliant, and Olivia Ortez as well. So we've got 2 full-time 9s in there, which is great. It was probably an area that we identified. Losing Sean Jones to Gloucester was big for us. You know, good young talent, Welsh talent coming through. So having those guys in there, like say, more talent. Lizzie Duffy, who was injured last year, but great to see her back on the pitch. Tysh Harper's in great form. Yes, there's a lot of girls, a lot for us to celebrate, and be good to get it off with a bang against Sarries next weekend.
Okay, it's the first one. We've not quite got right. We'll go again. Just get your headspace early, please. This side, headspace early, yeah? Crouch! Bind! Set! Good.
10 minutes remaining of this one, remaining of round 1 of the new season, a season with a World Cup on the horizon. Ball out to Lund, inside to Sheckles, but
Forward.
it was forward. The Shed stayed quiet, of course they did, but it was visibly forward.
It definitely was from a few, wasn't it? But you can see what they're trying to do, trying to load that front space, pressure Leicester defenders to try and create a bit of space on there. It's a nice pass here, but this one, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's their mark. And then
Big,
you go
big
left.
pass. That was forward to Rachel Lund there.
One final Gloucester Hartpury change to bring you up to speed on. Charlie Maymans, wearing number 22, is now on in the midfield. An all-action and fearless fly-half centre from Hartpury University. An almighty shove from the cherry and white pack, but Maxwell gets it away and sets off all by herself. The support comes in so quickly, but ball knocked on.
Stolen it, play on. Stolen, play on.
Seized back by Gemma Bell, and now Lund heading over the top of Gordon.
Not rolling.
Advantage going the way of Gloucester Hartpury. They can really start to fizz it about now with that to flex. Megan Lewis has a go. And then an end-over-end ball to Mundy.
Not rolling. Yeah, got it. Just there.
Now, Katie, I'm going to put you on a 5-minute warning to pick your player of the match for this one. So 5 minutes, mull it over.
You going for the corner? Yeah.
We've got a shiny new name for it this year as well. It's the Clinique Game Face Player of the Match.
You know, just by saying it, you don't get free goodies, don't you?
Just take the 22
that was my job.
Tigers.
Do you not?
Outside.
No. Good try, though. I liked it.
Perfect.
See if we can work on that. We'll get that written into a contract somewhere.
Yeah. We'll play on. We're playing on.
I quite like it. There are athletes who believe in look good, play good. Kelsey Jones, I know, is a huge proponent of it. She's always got her tan and her lashes and looks amazing, and says if you feel good in your own skin, Just gives you that bit of extra swagger.
I totally agree. I mean, it definitely wasn't Clinique makeup for me, but that intention of, you know, feeling good, feeling confident, and it helped me be able to go and perform. And it might be like having your hair braided, or
Just going to say, does that explain some of the hairstyles?
yeah, sometimes. As I got older, I had less time to worry about those things. But yeah, it is definitely a thing.
100%, and we know the.
There's no wind, though.
Listening to the scrum
We're
chat.
outside. Tigers, we're outside, okay?
We know the importance of the squad braiders, the work that is done by the likes of Lark Atkin-Davies in the Red Roses camp. There have been teams that have got in braiders before, haven't they, for big matches?
Yeah, 100% though. But I think also, as much as I probably stand here and mock it, this being partnership with Clinique is great. You know, girls who want to make makeup but want to play rugby, you don't have to make a choice. Both come hand in hand.
Oh, absolutely. Child.
Stop here, stop.
To Nicholas, who sends that one into clear turf. It bounces up for Mundy, who is then slammed by Emma Singh. Oh, and still going, driving up and over the top and onto Maxwell. The penalty goes the way of Gloucester Hartpury. Davies shapes to go quickly. Well, she's done everything today, Emma Singh. She really has.
Been very, very good. And I think, like you say, for me, it's that everything. Sometimes you see a very good attack, but today, across the board, I think defensively, very, very good here. You watch it, great timing, isn't it, on that tackle? Lets it sit up and then absolutely buries Mundy.
That's fine. In then Gloucester or out? Thank you.
I feel like we're saying this about everybody on the field today, but they are very excited about young Lucy Simpson. On and wearing 16, the replacement hooker for Gloucester Hartpury. Had several coaches here tell me that she's a future Red Rose in the week. May Mans, another one who has England ambitions. Fends the bounce pass onto Sheckles. Singh with it now, hunting a hat-trick.
Tackle!
There's an acceleration and a step and a fend and all sorts in there, and now else. Look at the numbers on the open side here. So many red jerseys. Hyatt back into May Mans. Fizzes that, perhaps a little bit unforgivingly, onto Copson, gathered by Beaver, who is so quick to react to everything on the pitch. She really is.
Tackle!
Really switched on. Maxwell finds Child. On the flat line there was Richardson, whose carry stats will be off the charts for today. Again, now this time Wills through the arms of Quonsa, and Singh rattles another Tiger.
It's accidental offside.
Well, it was harem-scarum, slotty stuff there from both sides.
By a red player into another red player. Scrum. Yeah, I did call it. I'll shout louder. Just accidental offside. Feel good? Easy. Yes, please, mate. Time off.
Well, Katie, I've given you some warning. You've had the chance to think about it. You're welcome to give me a short list first, but ultimately I am going to need your Clinique Game Face Player of the Match.
Yeah, so definitely I'm going to have a couple of mentions. It might go on for a while here. I thought Jordan and Frey and Swartz from Leicester have been very, very good. They've worked hard. They've put them on the front foot. And for me, those three players really kind of started Leicester's charge, I suppose, from the beginning of the game. That lady on the screen, Steph Ells, I thought was led from the front. Good captain's job. We haven't really seen it in terms of the work which has got stuck in. And I'd also like to mention Hopkins. I thought she's been very good again. But for me, probably won't be surprised, the Clinique Game Face Player of the Match is that lady on your screen, Emma Singh. Couple of tries, some lovely individual moments, defensively strong. She's been very, very good, and she's goal kicked immaculately as well.
There will be those wondering why she is here, why she isn't out at WXV. And we've heard her speak really candidly about how hard it was to learn that she wouldn't be receiving a Red Roses contract for this season. It took her a few months, really, to get over the emotional turmoil of that. But she's got work-ons. She's hustling behind the scenes to get back onto that programme. Do you think we'll see her back in the setup at some point soon?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's hard, isn't it, when you're chasing down somebody like Ellie Kildunn in that position, you know? But I think for me, Emma's got an all-round game, very good defensively, great goal kicker, which we know has been kind of a bit of a turbulent issue for the Red Roses. I think she's just got to keep her head down. She's got to keep doing what she does, but make the opportunities against the likes of Kilduns, the Breach, the Dows. They're the games she's really got to focus on.
Back foot here. Hold.
She couldn't have done any more today. 4 minutes remain. Maxwell was shaping to box kick that, but a right mess has been made of it by the Gloucester Hartpury forwards. And Meg Davies. It's not much of her, but she's making every inch of it felt in there.
And Tigers in front.
Now they look to clear, and again it's that cross-field effort. Mundy and Woodman.
You're on the floor, you've got to release.
Grappling for it. It goes the way of the women in white.
14.
Do you know what it is? As a fly half standing up here, makes you nervous when you kick across there into that space, you know. And Gloucester, fair play, are starting to read it. Woodman's starting to drop, Singh's starting to hover. But it's really good aerial skills by Leicester there. They're putting in a challenge, they're getting the rewards for the referee, and it's giving them an exit to the halfway. We see it again, Sarah Nicholas there. I mean, you're kicking into a lot of bodies there. Shelter's in there, Woodman's in there, but it's really, really good aerial skills by Mundy. Puts herself in between two players, which is huge when you're going to catch. And she got a reward for it. Well done.
It's bounced off and it's accidental offside again. It's bounced off, it's accidental offside. Here's a scrum, yeah. We'll take it in 15,
well,
guys.
The set piece has been a huge work on in the off-season. Hudson, telling me in the week, said that it would constantly cost them tries with regards to defending it, but equally it would alleviate pressure on opponents. And we've just seen it there. You have to nail those drills when all the hard work has been done. Yeah, it's been tough for them, isn't it? But, you know, Amy Kane coming back into the squad will make a massive difference. One of the best hooker throwers probably in the game, not just the women's game, so she'll make a difference. And I think the more this team spends together, the more they get pressurised in games, the better it will get.
Set.
And in the line-out, the likes of Kata Jacobs returning, Abby Constable. It's not just on the hooker, and that very much the case there. So, another go for Gloucester Hartpury. The gather by Singh, and now she floors it. And it is but a handful of red jersey that denies her the hat-trick. Fine scramble defence from Mundy. Hyatt straightens, does all that she can to get closer still to what would be a 10th try for the champions. Mans gets the offload away and on to Lund.
Leave it for, good work, play on.
The entire replacement front row levering themselves down over that ruck ball. Woodman on for her own hat-trick, but no, thrust into touch, and we are seeing 80 minutes from Leicester Tigers in their second season in the Premiership. Yeah, we really are. They've got to look at this scoreline and be proud of their performance. I think, you know, this is a good Gloucester side, a good attacking performance. This line from Emma Singh there just pulls it out of our pocket, doesn't she? But it's the work rate there. Mundy, then Child, nobody's giving in, nobody's dying, and they're the things that you can measure. You can measure that improvement. Don't worry about the scoreline. It will come. You've just got to keep staying in the game, and that's definitely what they've done today.
It'll be 4, girls.
One of their mantras this season, and I like this because it is so no frills, it is so brutal, but it is no passengers.
Girls, just make sure we're either clearly in or out.
They have 1 through 23 emptied the tank here this afternoon.
Yeah, and I think they've had some really good stand-up performances. So Gordon came on, like I say, has done very well. You know, you lost your captain early doors, you had a yellow card, you've had a couple of HIAs, so they've had a lot of change. But yeah, people like Mundy, like you say, he's come from the champ. He doesn't look out of place on this stage, and that's what Tom Hudson will be looking at. He'll be looking at making sure these girls are going well and performing. The line-out sticks under immense pressure, but then collapses to the floor. Penalty just straight over the top. Gloucester Hartpury in their eagerness to get the ball back with 30 seconds remaining. So Nicholas will clear. Having played the full 80 at a bit of a fortress on an afternoon when she will have been hoping for slightly less time than that. And speaking of fly halves, Katie, it's time for you to make your way down pitch side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got the pleasure of Sarah Elgin for company.
4 in then, get in.
This time, rather than form them all, they get it away quickly through Gordon. Maxwell shouting at those in the backfield. And swiftly to it again. Again, boot to ball, the method they go with. It's a little chip up over the top.
Yes,
Finds Shekels,
fine, yeah.
who, as you might expect from an international sevens athlete, has had so many involvements.
That's timeline. Tackle. Lead
Else
now,
in
yeah.
over that one, Davies. Finding Robin Davies. This, the final play, the final act of what has been a highly entertaining 80 minutes. Scrum advantage. What can Tigers do?
Now, Barnage over for the knock-on.
Ellen Beaver is screaming for it on this near touchline, but it's to Richardson. Yet again they go.
Not held, Quill.
Nicholas on now to Gordon, playing against her former club. And called off the bench so much sooner than planned. Up to halfway. Wills's pass deemed forwards. No internationals, no problem. With virtually an entire squad's worth of athletes overseas on WXV duty, Gloucester Hartpury have got their title defence underway. And it is a full fat bonus point victory. Leicester Tigers, they came with a plan. They did strike first, and they had grit in spades. But ultimately, Tigers were tamed by a side who eventually seized their opener by the scruff of the neck and didn't let go.